Alright, what's up? We're back with more of Avernum 2 Crystal Souls. We found a secret Empire fort, which we will complete the Island Lights quest here. So let's head on in here. You start to enter this narrow stone passage. Then you stop. You heard someone just ahead. Human speaking, roasting meat, the clatter of armor, training warriors. Then you see the symbol on the wall by you. It is a crown of the Empire. A powerful force of Empire warriors is hiding here. This is an advanced phase set up to launch attacks on the Eastern Gallery. Its destruction would be very good for Avernum, but you are woefully outnumbered. I think that's a risk we will have to take, though. In fact, before we start exploring, let's go ahead and head right on in there. Captain Whorehound, what the heck? Alright, I do want to make sure those, Okay, I do want to damage that cultist too, or do anything else, so he doesn't like keep healing people. Oh boy. Okay, I'm lucky Moses was just able to summon. Okay, yeah, we had to do a lot of damage here. There was no other way. Okay, yeah, we had to get rid of at least those assassins here. At least I finally get a breather to attack other people. I do have summoning focus, hence why I'm glad that I focus on that, because that slug was way more powerful than it probably should have been. Right. And my priest is definitely going to need the energy elixirs as much as possible. Right. But yeah, I could have easily been. Oh, no. Let's give that to her then, since that's a far sight longbow. Yeah, that's definitely way better. Now we have a breather, we can actually explore like these crates back here. Well, I survived that fight even though I was technically should have been outnumbered. Although, to be fair, those assassins came very close to killing Moses there. The desk contains plans and records regarding the recent devastating attack on Katra. The Empire was cunning. First, they built this hidden base and filled it with skilled soldiers. Then they made an alliance with a group of IBs from the western caves. They offered most of the spoils of Katra in return for the IBs' help in destroying it. The papers give a good idea of what happened, but you can't find any current troop rosters or accounts of movements or anything that would be useful back in Avernum. You do find one very interesting thing, though. It's a scroll, edged with blue ribbon. It's a path which gives the bearers free passage through all blue clearance Empire checkpoints. Okay, we are definitely taking advantage of that then. Steel breastplate, yes. Sniper's vest is still better. She already has that. The bookshelf is mostly bare. It mainly contains works of fiction from the surface world and dry, theoretical books on military tactics. However, on one of the shelves, you find a long, slender wand. I will sell that. That's not going to really do us too much good here. Okay, so you could have come in pretty much any way, almost. Feels like. Bag of sugar for Gary, we'll take that. And here we just have some slimes to go. No biggie. Alright, at least we took out that Empire base and got a blue checkpoint pass. No jobs. You tell Commander Arlen about the hidden Empire outpost on an island to the west. Ah, the mystery is solved. I will send a force there within the week. They will pay for their arrogance. You're rewarded with a pouch of coins and a wand. You sure you need to send a force? Because they're already dead, pretty much. But at least we completed that quest. Alright, let's go ahead and give... I freed the imprisoned Nephilim. Oh, I forgot to tell him that. Arms sets down his milk and stands, thrilled. You are kindness. You save us much. I wish you great well. Now I go find people so we can make again village. Thank you and luck. He runs from the bar. All right, give him some sugar. Find Gremlin women, sugar for Gary. Destroy Empire caches, slay Eldoran. Get cheap wine. You know what, let's go ahead and get this right here. You investigate the small island covered with tall, elegant, untouched toadstools of all types. It's an unusual, unspoiled bit of land in these increasingly crowded caves. You leave it that way. But with that in mind, we did find an interview elixir, so there is that. You find a small tribe of Slits living in an abandoned, mostly ruined stone shack. This band has reverted to barbarism. They speak in grunts and hisses rather than actual words. They also hungrily attack humans on sight. Oh boy. Oh man, I didn't want to do that. Dagnabbit. Actually... These Slitserikai were poor. You find lots of gnawed bones and junk. There are a few coins in the clay jar. Their leader's spear was pretty good, so you take that. With a good cleaning, it'll be a decent weapon. Alright, let's actually head back here now. You find, beaching on this remote island, the wreck of a cavewood boat. It's been struck with several spells, leaving it scorched and cracked. It is no longer river worthy. Strangely, there were no bodies around. Most everything in the boat has been looted. The survivors of the attack left an abandoned camp behind. You do find one thing of interest, a small, water-stained package. It's been partially ripped open. You see that it contains some herbs. You don't recognize them. The ink on the label has run, but you can make out one word. Darman. Let's go ahead and take it. We'll explore more of the other stuff here later, but I think I'll do the giant quest first. You find a heavy iron door built rather incongruously in the cave wall. The metal is shiny, hasn't yet begun to rust. Must be recent construction. Letters suddenly appear in a tracery of flame on the smooth surface of the door. They spell a simple grim word. Password? You take a few guesses, but none of them are correct. The writing disappears. The sign is very faded and old. Grox Peninsula, discovered by... The rest is illegible. At the base of the west wall of this cavern, you find some lichen. It's a very familiar species known for its strong healing power. There is enough of it here to be used in a potion. The small cavern has a natural spring, which sustains a wide variety of life. There's tall mushrooms, fungus, bats, lizards, all the mixed flora and fauna of Avernum. To the south, you see the abandoned remains of a small village. A group of huge ambulatory fungi is wandering around this tunnel. They're very strange and actually quite beautiful. Then they start to get close. You try to get out of their way only to find that they're chasing you. Well, they're not strong enough anymore to really stop me. Oh, that's a shambler. No wonder why he has a lot of strength right now. During the last 10 years, the people of Avernum have expanded ferociously into the unoccupied caverns, each of the new waves of exiles wishing to find a plot of land to call their own. Alas, with the invasion of the Empire, this process came to an abrupt end. Many settlements, like this one, were left unfinished as their builders fled to the safety of more established cities. Among these empty, half-finished buildings, you find very little of interest. They have been abandoned for months. All you find is a slightly rusty bar of steel left behind in the rush to flee. Ooh, fine slit spear. Can you wield it? Nah, but we can sell it. With a little veil. Moo. Okay. You enter a large stone hall filled with a huge assortment of equipment and junk. Jars of pottery, wands, flasks, knives, skulls, swords, and everything else imaginable are jumbled together in huge, awkward heaps. You meet a small, dapper man with carefully tended black hair and an elegant mustache. He watches you with interest. Though you're far from civilization, he doesn't seem worried about you. He says, "Do not be afraid. This is a place of rest for wandering Avernites. I am Waldby. Welcome to my store. What do you do out here?" He grins. "Why, I am a salesman. What else? What will you do when the Empire comes?" "Any day now, I expect to hear news of Empire troops coming. When that happens, I'm ready to be out of here within the hour. I'm not interested in suicide." Suicide? That's what I would be committing if I tried to defend my shop against the Empire. Waldby says, is there any other way I can assist you? I would hate to think you traveled all the way out here for nothing. This is the shop. Believe it or not, this is my lovely shop, or it will be until the Empire comes. How do you get customers out here? Waldby smiles. Is there any other way I can assist you? I would hate to think you traveled all the way out here for nothing. How do you get customers out here? You came, didn't you? I am remote, I know, but this is where I prefer to be. From here, I scavenge items as best I can. Then I sell them. Would you like to buy something? What sort of things do you scavenge? With all the battles and refugees and such, there's useful stuff abandoned all over these caves. Empire supplies, lost goods, salvage. I find it, clean it up, and sell it to my fellow prisoners of Avernum. He sighs. Now, if only I could find an Empire supply cache, then I would be set. Tell us about the supply caches. They're all over the place, heavily trapped and filled with valuable supplies straight from the surface, even dirt. The only problem is I can't find the password. What is so valuable about dirt? Dirt from the surface is really rare down here, more valuable than silver. Why do you need a password? Empire caches are sealed by a password, and I haven't the foggiest idea of what it is. The only way you could find it is by getting it from the Empire, and I don't know how someone could do that. I suppose looking for Empire soldiers in the Eastern Gallery would be a start. Let me see your wares. Waldby has gathered up an unusual sort of weird and interesting items. We have a bag of sugar. Although it's not really a profit if we buy it from him and then sell it to Gary anyway. I don't need anything. Alright, thank you for the company. It does get lonely out here. I wonder if it's still that Empire soldier that we found earlier. The one that's right here. You find in the middle of this bare open... It's a dispatch. Oh, this is... Yeah. It's a dispatch from some garrison somewhere to some other garrison. It says that the new access word for the auxiliary caches is skulls. When you finish reading it, you suddenly feel strangely compelled to replace the scroll in the bag. Okay, so you have to get that mission and then do that. But we also have the quest to destroy the Empire caches as well, so... I mean, I would hate to ruin Wallaby business, but... This is what we have to do. Fortunately, you learn what the password is from a scroll on a dead courier. You say skulls. The door swings open smoothly and you pass into the cave beyond. Inside, you find supplies. There are dozens of bags and boxes of useful goods. Food, arrows, darts, melee weapons, and armor. Even spell components, all neatly stacked and bagged, all bearing the symbol of the Empire. You've one entry into an Empire supply cache, no doubt set up to help stage an offensive on Eastern Avernum. The Empire may have placed defenses to keep the stuff from being stolen, but now that you're past them, you can do what you want. You set to work. Much of the stuff burns. That which doesn't is easily melted with a few simple spells. Within minutes, the supplies laboriously brought down from the surface are soot and rubble. Okay, we'll tell him the password, but we still have that quest to destroy the Empire caches as well, so we can do that. You can do both. You can give him the password and still destroy the Empire caches anyway. I found out the password. It's skulls. He looks ecstatic. Thank you. This will be a huge help. Time to go loot. He almost collapses under the weight of the waves of greed washing over him. I want to do something for you in return. If you would like, I can sell you my special goods in the future. That's the sort I normally only sell to Averna agents, or people with lots and lots of money. Will you sell me some of your special goods? Waldby offers several unusual and valuable items for sale. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and buy a wisdom crystal so Raylan can get back to more XP. Get right back up to him with the XP since I know she was the lowest before. We're still going to destroy the Empire caches, though, because it doesn't really do us any good to loot them, so. You reach for a sword and notice too late a thin layer of brown dust on it. At a touch, it billows into the air, causing you to choke and gag. Eyes streaming, you flee from the cave. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't do you any good to loot, so we're gonna just keep destroying it. Avoid the giants there. Avoid the Empire soldiers there. At the end of this narrow passage, you find a stone barricade. It is guarded by an isolated, well-armed, and jumpy garrison of Empire soldiers. You eye each other nervously for a few minutes, and one of them yells, "You don't attack us, we won't attack you." Unusually weak and conciliatory behavior for forces of the Empire, this outpost must have been cut off from the main force for some time. Gritting your teeth, you charge the barricade. Some of the invaders of your homeland pepper you with spells, while others draw weapons and close for the attack. Alright, killed them and took their loot. You search the small Empire encampment. There isn't much beyond what you found on their bodies. Their supply lines must have been cut. The only thing of interest you find is their captain's belt. It's pretty nice. Alright, Girdle of Might. Ooh, that gives a boost to strength, so we're definitely putting that on. Okay, looks like this section is blocked off now, so... Remember, you can, if you need to recharge at some point, you can go back and Fort Adrenaline and take care of that. The swag gallery is littered with piles of slag and ore, broken tools, and other equipment. This isolated area was once home to several mines. The Avernites fled some time ago, leaving the halls eerily quiet. You stand at the entrance to what was once a small mine. You aren't sure whether it was banned because the Empire invaded or it was played out. A brief exploration reveals nothing of value. We're actually doing that guy a favor, though, by destroying the Empire caches, because we can't even loot it ourselves. It looks like the river here is shallow enough for a giant to cross it. You, on the other hand, would be swept away by the current in an instant. Okay, so like we found giant territory now. These giants are busy hauling supplies to and from the dock at the west end of this road. They are bent over double under immense sacks. They either haven't noticed you or are ignoring your presence. Oh yeah, we'll definitely take on the giants next. Or we slay Eldoran. Man, Moses is sure getting stunned a lot, though. Snapping freaking Lazarus got stunned as well. Get out of my way. You look inside the sacks, wondering what sort of treasure the creatures were hauling. Unfortunately, it was just blocks of stone from some quarry to the west, no doubt to expand the castle. There is nothing of value to you. Odd, at the side of this crude road trod into the stone by the giant, you find a small shred of pink ribbon. The huge totems in front of this crude castle display a variety of grisly trophies. A table will show a power for giants. Then a flash of color catches your eye. One of the poles has a pink ribbon tied around it. Interesting. Okay, so we found a giant fort now. Before we head in, let's see what else is around here. Okay, we have a speed elixir we found. In the middle of this corridor, you find a crumpled length of pink ribbon. Alright, well, it looks like we're in the next part of Let's Play. We are going to be exploring the giant fort. So I'm going to save the game right here, but I'll see you all soon with the next part.